there was a lawsuit against the Huron Manistee National Forest, and the lawsuit, the crux of it was to outlaw snowmobiling and hunting in the Huron Manistee semi-primitive areas. Right now we have 13 of those areas in the Huron Manistee that are semi-primitive areas that do have snowmobiling and hunting are allowed in those areas. So because of the lawsuit, the Sixth Circuit Court in Ohio ruled that the National Forest Service did not do their due diligence in checking to see how much snowmobile use or how much hunting use versus the other users, the hikers, the bikers, berry pickers, and people who want the quiet sports. So the lawsuit was really not, I don't want to say it was won by this gentleman, but he got his point across. So the Sixth Circuit Court said to the Forest Service, you need to go back and you need to justify your reasoning for allowing snowmobiling and hunting in these semi-primitive areas. What the Forest Service plan is, instead of fighting the lawsuit, they decided to look at their environmental impact statements and address it that way. So what they're doing right now is addressing all 13 areas through a supplemental environmental impact statement. And that's where we are right now. The Forest Service has just gone out for their what's called their scoping. In other words, they're going to be taking comments on if you snowmobile in the forest, if you don't, if you hunt in the forest, what you do, how you do that, and where you come in and out of the forest. Well, this is really bad for snowmobilers and hunters, because if the ruling is allowed to stand, it could close those 13 areas, which in effect will shut down the passage of our snowmobile trails as it runs through these forests. Out of the 13 semi-primitive areas, we have trails running on 7 of them. And we just don't do circle trails as you would in your backyard. These trails go from point A to point B, city to city, hotel to hotel, restaurant to restaurant. So it's our thoroughfares for actually getting around the national forest. So if this ruling was allowed to stand, basically probably 200 or 300 miles of our system in the Lower Peninsula would be interrupted. And you just can't say, well, we will reroute around those areas, because to do that, you then need to do another environmental impact statement. These take anywhere from 2 to 5 years to reroute a trail. So we'd end up with trails being disrupted for over 5 years. What this would affect not only the snowmobilers, who we love to recreate, and especially because of the Manistee National Forest, where it's located on the west side of the state, the Huron National Forest, where it's located on the east side. Those are really the 2 first stopping points in southeast Michigan for all the Wayne County, Oakland, Macomb County people going north. They hit the Huron National Forest. Same on the west side of the state. You have Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Holland. That's the first stop for those people to be making into those national forests and riding those trails. So it would affect all the snowmobilers. Not to mention, it would probably put a few hundred businesses out of business if snowmobilers were not allowed to recreate in the national forest. For years, you know, we've been saying that snowmobiling is $1 billion a year industry in the state of Michigan, and that covers the whole state. But I know just going back to 1980, and that was a long time ago, 1982 I think it was, the city of Cadillac looked at what just the economic impact, and we're talking, what is that, 30 years ago, the economic impact of the little town of Cadillac was over $1 million just on snowmobiling weekends. So, you know, exponentially, you can see where that goes from now. They don't build hotels outside of trails for, you know, bird watchers. They build them for the snowmobilers. And so economically, it would be devastating to those northern Michigan communities. Well, you know, what it does is it takes those forests out of the mix for an easy place to go, even for a day ride. You know, Grand Rapids, you can be to the Manistee in an hour and a half. You can leave in the morning, go up and do a day ride, come back. You'd have to go further up into Michigan to get that. First thing that we're going to do right now, and if you'll go on the MSA website, that's www.msasnow.org. There's 3 pieces on the website right now. First one was the original when we first heard about the lawsuit and what we needed to do in some meetings. The second thing is we gave you some ideas on some talking points. They're having public meetings out shortly, and there'll be a list of them following the program. But we need to go to those meetings, not to complain, not to give your opinion. You need to go there and write down some opinions of what you do and what you know, how you snowmobile, how you use the forest, and what it would mean to you. That's an important part. These meetings that the National Forest Service is going to be having are just informational meetings. It's the start of the scoping project. The third thing on our website we'll have is a sample letter, and it gives some bullet points that we want you to put into a letter, hopefully in your own words. If you can do it in your own words, great. If you can't, you can certainly use the sample letter, sign your name to it, and turn it in. But getting all the snowmobilers to react right now is really important, because, like I said, this is the scoping, this is the fact finding. This is when the forest is going to be doing everything they can to pull in as much input as they can to make an informed decision for the judge to look at and say, okay, we've done our due diligence now. Snowmobiling needs to be allowed, and if nobody shows up, snowmobiling won't be allowed. That's the bottom line. In closure, what I need every snowmobiler to do out there is to go to our website, get a copy of that letter, rewrite it if you want in your own handwriting, take some information off there, tell the Forest Service that you go and use these areas, that you are a snowmobiler, you snowmobile through the forest, you use not only the marked groomed trails, but the unimproved roads, all those thousands of miles that are out there to use. We need you to get involved right now. We need you to go to our website. We need you to do it, because if you don't do it, if the snowmobilers don't stand up for themselves, pretty soon you will only be able to use your snowmobile in your own backyard.